Oh, no. Back and forth.
Number one.
We're sitting in the order we're speaking.
Oh, Amy,
Like,
you're
like,
done.
okay, that's it. Now it's transition. Now it's transition.
All right, so thank you everyone for coming so much. I'm Sky. I'm a current SGA senator and one of 4 members of our elections committee. I want to start by thanking the other members of the election committee, Yomar, Lindsay, and Campbell, for being so diligent with everything in such a short turnaround time and for working together to put on this event. I'm especially excited about all of this because this is the first time in a while that we've had a true election where all of the candidates aren't just running unopposed, so it's pretty exciting. And then thanks again to everyone who chose to spend their evening with us tonight. Thank you to all the hardworking members of the Student Government Association for being so active and willing to take on challenges, and good luck to all the candidates.
Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Gill, and I'm running for re-election for the student trustee position in our Student Government Association. Just to give you some background on myself, as a freshman, I started out as a senator, and then halfway through the year, I took the role of secretary on. And then this year, I was elected as a student trustee and hope to continue on in this role to serve our student body. This past year, I have made efforts to expand the role of student trustee. I hope to create an ongoing expectation for this position to accurately represent Fitchburg State and advocate for more than just the undergraduate day students. After trying to report to the Board of Trustees in my first meeting with them, I found that it was unconvincing to be able to advocate for the student body in the way I say I am when I was only reporting on our undergrad students. So I began to schedule meetings with different offices on campus, and it was my goal to start bringing these underrepresented voices to the table and let the trustees know about everything else that goes on. This is only the start, and I plan to meet with more offices to grab a better idea of the pulse on our campus as well. I believe it's essential to be reporting on underrepresented departments and offices on our campus to the Board of Trustees specifically because they vote on decisions that can and will greatly impact everyone on our campus. The Board of Trustees, for those of you who don't know, they're charged with the fiduciary management of the institution, including determination of fees, establishment of personnel management policy, staff services, and the general business of the institution. When making these decisions, it's important that the board has student input and is able to understand student perspectives on this campus. And it's my goal as your student trustee to make sure that all board members are fully informed of who they are impacting and how students will be impacted whenever voting on these decisions. As the student trustee serves as the main connection between the Board of Trustees and the student body, I strive to keep an open line of communication between the two parties. Next year, if elected again, I aim to bring back an event to campus, one that involves a space that allows for students and board members to have a meet and greet. It's been an issue in the past that board members are not as involved with the students as they should be, and I'm trying to challenge myself to fix the situation because I don't believe they should be voting on things that are going to impact us throughout the year if they never see our faces in the first place. So those are my goals, and I hope you consider voting for me as your student trustee next year. Question?
Yeah. What's been your favorite part of being a student trustee this year?
I'd say being in the meetings and like actually getting to speak to individuals who like play a huge role in our government. I know I'm sitting at the table with senators, managers of banks, and then other people like budgeting managers as well, and getting to speak with them and listen to them and how like they took their role as the trustee on this board and like what they could do with it, and they kind of have influenced me on how like I view my future after being a trustee. I think that's important. I know also when we had a reunion, my favorite part of that was when I got to meet the first ever student trustee, and one of my questions was how do I like use the skills I've like learned as a student trustee as a future teacher, and then found out that he was a teacher, so I thought that was really impactful to my life. And he explained specifically like everything that he learned as a student trustee into his future teaching career. So I'd say that is 2 of my favorite things of being a student trustee. Question?
What are some challenges that you've said you've overcome as the student trustee?
So I'd say the first one is accurately representing the student body. I know the first one I kind of just gave updates and like statistics on what was going on our campus, listing events, but that wasn't enough. And it became harder to like actually tell the Board of Trustees some of the struggles that have been going on our campus. and actually like putting my voice out there. I've had people tell me not to say specific things in meetings, and it's been tough to like kind of ignore that sometimes and like think of the students first. So I think that's I've overcome. Any other questions? Lily?
Do you think that the other members of the trustees like you?
I believe I've had to put in a lot more effort than I think I should. I only get to see them about 2 to 3 times a semester. And then once again, one of my main goals is to bring them to campus more. I think it's been a struggle, even with me. So I can only imagine how they're pretty disconnected from the rest of our campus. So it's important that we have more of these events with them and getting them on our campus.
30 seconds.
Any other questions? I have 30 seconds. Thank you.
Great. Sorry, I wasn't expecting to not have a mic stand here. First of all, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Michael Burns. I am currently a junior. I am a history major with an economics minor as well as political journalism. Before I start today, I just want to ask that we all give a round of applause again to the elections committee for making this event happen. A lot of work went in behind the scenes. We're really managing the SGA in a way that's never happened before. And this election committee is a great representation of that. They put in place a lot of the election rules and kind of guidelines that we hadn't had before as an SGA. And, that's work that hadn't happened before, but our SGA took the initiative to start that. And I think that's a really cool thing. I first of all wanted to say thank you for the moment that I'm in now. This past year in SGA has been nothing short of incredible. We've built an organization and we've built a family at the very same time. The work we've done together and the progress we've made have all been possible because of the dedication and the passion of the students in this room and beyond. This year, we have accomplished a lot. We've recognized a new variety of clubs. We've given students opportunities to find their communities. We've navigated a budget crisis as a young e-board, and we've made tough decisions, all while ensuring the students' needs remained a priority. We've hosted events, we've brought students together, and most importantly, we've been a voice for the students in decisions that shape our university. We've worked hard to build a strong foundation, and because of that, we're in a strong position to continue to move forward. The momentum we've created is real. Our deliverables and our synergy is real. We have been catalysts of this unique opportunity with the new administration to push Fitchburg State forward. In times of change, it's critical that we work together and that we lean into the mission of being student ready. We must continue to make the university the best it possibly can. That's why I'm here today. I'm passionate about student advocacy and developing the student government to be something that we are all proud of. It's not lost to me that I have the privilege for the past year to lead an organization that's been operating for over 100 years. We've accomplished a lot with that time, and I hope to accomplish more. We have the chance to really create something special. I believe that we have strength in our community, and I believe that this state is a place that we can all grow, lead, and make a real impact. I'm running for SGA president because I want to keep building on this momentum, and I want to strengthen the student experience. I want to advocate for the changes that we need, and I want to make sure that every student has a voice, especially when it's not easy or fun. So tonight I'm asking for your vote, but I'm also asking to make sure to tell all of your friends and peers to vote. Make sure the more people we have voting in this election makes this a representative democracy. So let's keep moving forward together, and thank you all for listening to me chat. Any questions from the crowd today? Elliot?
How do you intend to inform students on what SGA does?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of work to do to continue to let students know, just the general student body, what SGA is in general, what we do, and what are our missions and again, what we're doing on a day-to-day basis to make sure that what their best interests are heard and seen by the administration, really making those decisions. I think that is where we have the most work to do. I think that is a lot about kind of PR, where we're putting our social media, how we're interacting with students, how we're really engaging with the student body. And I think that that's where we have the most work to do. And I think that that's where I'd like to most kind of get working on once we do have this vote coming through, and hopefully I get reelected as a student government president. So, any other questions? Yeah.
How do you say you advocate for the students?
So, like I was saying in my speech, there's been over 100, I believe it's over 120, 110 years that student government's been an organization. And in that time, there's only been 12 presidents of the university. This being one of those times, I being one of the lucky few to be able to transition into presidency alongside a new president of the university. I think that the connection that myself, the rest of the e-board, and just the General Senate has with the new administration, with Dr. Hodge in specific, has really been a catalyst for significant change. We've been able to hone this opportunity that we have now to make the students' voices heard in a more direct way than I've ever seen happen on this campus, and in a more direct way than I've seen on many, many campuses around Massachusetts and around the country. I'd love to continue to do that work, and I think that that's exactly where we can make the most change. And I think that when we have this, we got to take advantage of it. You know, this is something we got to strike while the iron is hot. You know, they're listening, so I'm going to keep talking. So I hope that answered your question. Is there any other questions from the crowd? Awesome. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Dedier. I am currently the Vice President of the Student Government Association. And I would just like to start this off by saying thank you to the Elections Committee for all the hard work they've done to make all this happen. I know they had very, very short notice, so I just want to give them their grace. And at the same time, I'd like to recognize the growth that we've had in SGA. We've come incredibly far from this moment. I've seen us as an organization, as well as individuals, grow and accomplish things that, you know, we didn't even think were possible. So I just like to thank them for that as well. Also, I'm a film video major. I got a rough film video. Over the past year, I've had the privilege of serving our community as Vice President of the Student Government Association. I've been accomplishing this through creating connections and building rapport between students and SGA itself, as well as bringing new voices and perspectives to the association. If I were reelected, my mission would be to continue to advocate for all students and their needs, as well as plan out success for the future of SGA as an organization. Last summer, I had the opportunity of becoming an orientation leader. It was such an incredibly unique experience, interacting with new students that I had just recently been in the shoes of. I remember initially how worried and anxious I was in this new environment. I knew that in my orientation leader and SGA vice president role, I could reach out to these new students who experienced what I experienced as a first year. I told them about campus and the resources that we have to offer. I gave them advice and tips on how to navigate the college setting. I was a friendly face to them, as my orientation leaders and SGA seniors were to me. I told them about student government and what we do, how we represent the student body and serve as the official voice. By working with them in my role as an orientation leader and as the SGA vice president, it encouraged them to join student government. And by doing this, it has brought in so many new ideas, perspectives, and motivations to the association. They, along with others who have joined, have benefited the student government and continue to change the culture and dialogue on campus. Investing in our SGA and our e-board, in turn, invest in the future of the student body. And not just that, it actively invests in the future of Fitchburg State University. Thank you. All right. Any questions? Campbell.
What could you say, what would you say that you could maybe do or improve upon if re-elected next year?
That is a really great question. So I really am a strong believer in getting students involved. I mean, just look at where we are now. This election has drawn in so many people who haven't really interacted with SGA. And this is, you know, one of the first times that they're seeing us in this capacity. We've never had a contested election, or at least we haven't had one in a very long time. And people are coming up to me, they're mentioning senators, people running for e-board, and just, you know, invested. And hearing that really does actually touch me. Like it and lets us know that we're doing something right. And I want to continue to do that and ingrain, I guess, the culture of SGA in everyday involvement with the student body. Thank you. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
All right, good evening, everyone. For those who may not know me, my name is Justin Swain, and I am happy and honored to be standing before you as a candidate for the Vice President position for Student Government Association, and I would like to thank my nominator for nominating me for this position. A little bit about myself. I am a first-generation college student who has navigated my way through this journey with limited resources. This experience has shaped my determination and resilience. I also served in several leadership positions across campus. These include an admissions lead tour guide, an orientation staff assistant, and a member of the TRIO Student Support Squad. Each of these roles has allowed me to connect with our campus community in meaningful ways and develop a strong foundation in leadership. To quote the brilliant Alan Turing, "We can only see a short distance ahead, but we can see plenty that there needs to be done." This resonates with me, especially when it comes to the student leadership. In Student Government Association, we work as liaisons between the student body and several offices across campus. This means effective communication with the professional staff within those positions is essential. The quote reminds us that while we may not always have the luxury of knowing what lies far in the future, we can still address the issues in the near horizon and that need our attention right now. As Vice President, I'll prioritize ensuring that communication within the Student Government Association runs smoothly and efficiently. Without strong communication, our efforts will be limited. In my role as an orientation staff assistant, I've had the privilege of working closely with professional staff to plan and execute training sessions for the orientation team. I'll bring this experience to our organization, facilitating workshops to improve communication skills for the student government members and the broader campus community. By utilizing the resources we do have within our campus community, we can enhance the effectiveness of our interactions and foster a collaborative atmosphere across campus. However, communication is a two-way street. It's not just about fostering communication with our organization, but also ensuring a consistent, open line between the Student Government Association and the student body. If students aren't aware, sorry, I cannot English today, y'all. If students aren't aware of where to bring their concerns or feel their voices aren't heard, our efforts fall short. That's why through our PR committee, I'll collaborate to better advertise our meetings and create more avenues for students to share their thoughts and concerns. When students know they are being listened to, we can truly advocate for them and make meaningful change. Town halls are also an essential tool in this communication process. I firmly believe the more opportunities we provide for students to express their ideas and concerns, the more progress we can make as a community. As someone who has been part of organizing numerous events, I have significant experience in planning and executing large-scale initiatives. If elected Vice President, I will take this experience and work with our team to confidently plan and host town halls that will give all students the chance to be heard. Together, we can make a difference. I would be honored to serve as the Vice President and work alongside all of you to build a stronger, more connected campus community. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to the opportunity to serve you.
So you're listed here as an interdisciplinary studies major. I was just wondering kind of what you're studying and what you're planning to do when you graduate.
So interdisciplinary studies, I basically build my own major. So I chose to minor in business administration just so I have those skills moving into the future, as well as English studies, as I have a large passion within that field. Most of my courses I did choose to take with Dr. Keisha Tracy, as her field of study is within like mythology and stuff relating to that. My hope for the future is I actually will be shooting to become a higher education professional, working at another university, or maybe this one, mainly focusing within the student development realm, working with clubs, organization, and building students' leadership skills. Any other questions? Campbell.
If elected, you're gonna be a senior, right?
Yes.
What type of legacy would you hope to leave behind?
That's a good question. I would hope to leave an impactful one. Something that maybe incoming senators or current freshmen going into their sophomore year could look up to, striving to take on leadership role and just making sure that everyone knows that they do have a voice. Everyone does have the chance to be a leader, and making sure that they know that all those avenues are open to them. Lily.
Do you think you have the time available to take on this role while you're going into your senior year?
Yes, so I actually will have more time as I am going to be dropping some other commitments. And I have a nice schedule, I'm not gonna lie, not to brag, when it comes to my courses. Campbell,
You've run out of time.
I run out of time. All right.
Hello, everybody. I'm Joshua Cronin. I'm a junior here at Fitchburg State. I study communications media, film video, shout out film video, with a minor in political science. It is with immense pride and unwavering purpose that I stand before you today, seeking your support as I pursue the role of Vice President in our student government. I do not take this step lightly, nor do I see it as a mere title to hold, but rather as a solemn responsibility to serve, to strengthen, and to uphold or uplift this campus we call home. We are a student body of boundless energy and undeniable potential, yet we are not without our trials. We wrestle with challenges of affordability, transparency, and accessibility. But let me be clear, we are not a generation that shies away from difficulty. We are a generation that meets it head on. If you entrust me with your vote, I pledge to be a voice that does not tremble in the face of bureaucracy, nor waver before the weight of opposition. I will be steadfast in advocating for your concerns, whether it is rising costs of education, the need for more transparent communication from administration, or the simple desire for a campus that offers greater unity and opportunity for all. I will strive not merely to be a figurehead behind a desk, but a presence among you, in the halls, at the events, and on the grounds. For a leader who listens from afar is no leader at all. Let us not be content with half measures or fleeting promises. Let us build a student government that is active, dynamic, and unyielding in its pursuit for progress. Let us push for stronger advocacy, fairer policies, and greater collaboration between students and administration alike. I ask you not simply for your vote, but for your partnership in this endeavor. For this is not the work of one person, nor one office. It is the shared effort of an entire community. And if we are to shape a campus that stands taller and shines brighter, it will be because we together refuse to settle for less. So I say to you today, let us dare to imagine a better tomorrow, but let us also have the courage to build it. With determination in our hearts and action in our hands, we will forge ahead, not timidly, but boldly. I am Joshua Cronin. I am running for vice president, and together we will build this campus stronger than it ever has been. Thank you. Any questions? Right here.
Yeah, I know you have experience working as a presidential ambassador. So how do you think that you could take a student's idea from just that, an idea, to reality?
Yeah, so this year, obviously, becoming the first class of presidential ambassadors alongside yourself and Matt Gill, we've had an extremely rare opportunity to be able to not only work with the president's office, but bring a project we really care for to their eyes. Speaking for myself, my project had to do with the Summer Bridge students. I'm a Summer Bridge graduate myself. My freshman year coming into here, I was accepted into the program and then accepted into the university. And I'm extremely proud of that. I wear that like a badge of honor. I think this university is such a stepping stone for students like me that weren't necessarily in the best place in high school to really become themselves. So with the presidential project, I really wanted to help further develop it and allow students like myself to have even more opportunities on the campus. So that was really my biggest to date really idea coming to fruition. So seeing how I was able to go about that, talking to different administrators, different people in research departments, statistics, planning groups. I mean, you really get the true idea of what it means to plan something out. And yeah, pretty wholeheartedly too. I think all of us took on our projects really. I mean, it meant something to us. We weren't just creating part of my language, but a half-assed project that we would just throw away or put on a resume. We really were building something to better the campus. So, any other questions? Over here.
I know you're gonna be a senior next semester and film and video go out on internship senior year. Do you think you have the means?
Yeah, so I actually been talking, I plan on doing my internship either at the State House or at FATV. But regardless, I plan on staying local. I'm planning on continuing my residency on campus next year. And with that, I definitely have talked and planned the fact that I'll dedicate as much time as I need if I'm elected, and make sure every Tuesday we're here, making sure the meetings run smoothly. But yeah, really just, making sure the time commitment's there is something that's super important to me. As somebody who I think is pretty rare for this group, we have a lot of really accomplished people, but I think one of the only people really not associated with any other groups on campus. I'm not a member of any other clubs or anything. So the time commitment to me has always been a really, really important thing. So thank you. Right here.
Your time is up.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Aline Salles, and I'm a game design student, and I'm the current SGA secretary. It's truly an honor to stand here before you today. Just a year ago, the thought of giving a speech like this would have seemed impossible. With that, I want to start by saying how much I agree with SGA, and being part of this organization has given me the confidence to find my voice. I'm incredibly proud of the work our e-board has accomplished together. We faced challenges and still supported each other every step of the way. I couldn't be more thankful to be part of such an amazing team. I'm incredibly happy to see how many new senators we were able to have this year. A special thank you go to our advisor Kennedy, who saw potential in me when I wasn't sure of it myself. And you gave me the opportunity to be part of something so amazing. I'm grateful for your trust and support. This organization has not only strained my leadership skills, but also shaped me into the person I am today. As I run for the re-election as a secretary again, I'm filled with excitement and determination to continue serving this community. I believe in what we build together, and I'm willing to see how we can grow even further. Let's keep making a difference together. Thank you all for being here today. Any questions?
People, I don't want to speak for people, but I guess myself, I wouldn't necessarily say that game design is the first thing that I think of when it comes to student government. What unique perspectives do you think you bring as a game design student to student government?
I feel like game design, we always work as a group, and we have to learn how to work together and be together. And I feel like SGA made me learn a lot about that as I'm working on the e-board and all the senators. That made me way more confident on my major because of that. Anyone?
What's your favorite part of this year about serving?
I'm not gonna lie, even the issues we had, seeing those issues and working together made me really proud of everyone on the e-board and also the senators, and seeing how many people we were able to bring it. I feel like that made me really happy about this year. Any other questions? Yes.
If re-elected, what would you like to improve upon that you couldn't improve this year?
I feel like this year, I talked to a lot of people, but I feel like I should have done more about that. I want to be able to stay in the office more with you guys and talk to you and help you with anything you guys have. So I feel that I want to improve on that. Any other question? Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cassandra Zrielson, or Cassie, a junior majoring in communications media with a double concentration in film, video, and photography. I just want to take this time to tell you about myself and my background. So I'm from Saugus, Massachusetts, where I live with my mom, dad, an older brother, and my dog Dilly, who's named after an old Bud Light commercial. My dad named him. And I've worked for Dunkin' Donuts, that's right down the street from my house, for a couple of years now. I hate coffee though, but I love chai lattes and pineapple mango refresher. My mother is an assistant principal for K through 2, and she's great at it. She's my role model. Her motto has always been work hard, play hard. You can't play hard if you don't work hard. She gives her 100% with everything she does, and I try my best to do the same. And that goes for everything I do. I'm captain of the women's cross country and track and field team here. I'm a thrower on the team. I love the team so much, and I'm proud and honored to say I feel that I've gained their respect as a captain, which is something you don't just get, it's earned. I'm a student athlete advisory committee leader, SAAC, and we just collected, signed, and donated many children's books and volunteered with the Special Olympics. I work in the ACT Center as a peer tutor and peer mentor, which is the best job I have ever had. I've been a curator for 2 student-run photography galleries on campus that show student work, which is something I want to carry on the next year and teach younger photo students how to be a curator so they can continue these exhibits once I graduate. I just did a project for Women in the Arts event that was this past Friday, and I'm also going to be a model at the soiree Friday, February 4th, which I'm also so excited for, and that everyone should attend and buy tickets if you haven't already. So as secretary, I want to set up student government to be a more professional and organized environment so that it's easier for everyone to do their jobs, support student voices, and make change at the school. When there's a lack of professionalism and organization, the whole Student Government Association is slowed down, which affects clubs and organizations in the long run. For myself to have taken on everything I've wanted to and currently take on, I was forced to have great time management and organizational skills. I seriously could not be doing everything I'm doing now if I didn't have these skills. Taking on leadership roles such as curating photo exhibits, being a peer mentor and tutor, a team captain, an SAAC leader, and more, I've gained many leadership skills, and I'd say I'm pretty good at it. I've also got my mom's loud redhead energy, which definitely helps. My time management skills, organizational skills, and leadership skills combined makes me believe I'd be a pretty amazing secretary. It might sound cocky, but how are you supposed to believe I'd be great at it if I don't? And I know I'd be. One thing I want to implement as secretary is updating the Constitutional Review Committee. Right now, the committee is supposed to be formed to meet every 2 years to review and make updates to the Constitution. I want to make this committee one of our consistent committees that meets constantly to make sure student government members are aware of the Constitution, especially new senators, and make sure we're following it. After being in the Constitutional Review Committee this year, there's a lot we want to improve, fix, and update. Any questions? Yes, Michael Burns.
How have you advocated for student athletes this year?
So I have been the athletic and recreation liaison this past year, and I've worked with Matt Burke on a lot of different issues, such as getting meals at the dining hall for all the winter athletes during winter preseason, and so many more things. Currently, we are doing a lot to try to advocate for academic support for athletes. And there's some big changes coming that I'm really happy about because I was pushing so hard for that. But yeah. Done.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Morgan Rule, and I want to start off by thanking everyone for coming tonight. I am currently a freshman in the Exercise Science program, and I have been an SGA Senator since September. I've had a great experience so far in SGA, and I hope that I can continue to help make change for our community in the upcoming years. Being a senator this year has taught me a lot about how both our school government and school community run. I've had the opportunity this year to hear students' concerns and gain insight on how everything runs behind the scenes. It has been a privilege to work with my peers to better our campus. Originally, I joined SGA because I was a part of my high school student council, where I served on the e-board for 3 out of 4 years and spent my senior year as the president. Student council was one of my favorite things about high school, from the community we built to the relationships I gained with officers from other schools and everything we accomplished to help build a stronger community. While the SGA community reminds me of student council, I quickly realized that there is a huge difference between high school and college governance. While I always look forward to planning pep rallies and spirit weeks, I love being able to see the impact that SGA makes in student life and affairs. One thing about me is that I love to make positive change and help my community whenever and however I can, which is one of the reasons I feel so at home in SGA. My experience as a senator this year has given me a unique perspective because I have spent the majority of my freshman year learning how to balance individual and group student concerns with the best interest of the student body. As secretary, I hope to continue down the path of inspiring change on our campus and to be a voice for all. Some of my goals for the position include enhancing communication and organization. In order to accomplish these, I hope to work with the rest of the e-board to send out the agenda before our Tuesday meetings in order to help both Senate and gallery members prepare for the topics that will be discussed. One of my biggest goals is to help everyone make informed decisions about the matters at hand, and one way to do that is to make sure that everyone has enough time to prepare themselves before meetings, which will hopefully make meetings smoother and more efficient. A few other things that I hope will improve our meetings are printing copies of the minutes and committee and liaison reports to be able to refer to during meetings, since we currently can't have electronics in meetings so it can help us refresh. Another task I would like to accomplish is to create a more organized system for voting during meetings. This would include making sure everyone has all the materials they need to cast their votes, as well as efficiently collecting the votes to then count them. In closing, I want to thank you all for being here tonight and for taking the time to listen. Serving as a senator this year has been an incredible experience, and I'm excited about the opportunity to take on a larger role as your secretary. I'm ready to bring my passion, dedication, and experience to this position to ensure that our meetings run smoothly, communication improves, and everyone feels prepared and informed. I hope you all have a great night. Thank you. Questions? Yes, my friend.
As a younger senator, you have a lot of time left ahead of you to make impact and make change, as you said you'd like to do. Over the long run, maybe not next year, but over the next 2, 3, 4 years, what would you like to accomplish in student government overall?
I think I just want to be able to have a relationship with all of the departments and just be close with anyone I can, just so I can hear the voices of everyone and know who I'm working with and know that they know who I am as well. Any other questions? Yes, I do.
In your speech, you talked a lot about what you want to do to help smooth out the meetings, which I think a lot of the ideas you got are great. I am wondering if you have any ideas for the office in specific, whether that be the modifications of the hours or something of that nature.
I'd say, like, are you talking like the length of how many hours people have to work?
Just anything within the office, as the office is something that is generally the secretary's responsibility. So just out of curiosity.
I think currently the 2 hours a week is good, because I know everyone has a lot on their plate, so 2 hours I think is a good standard. But I think maybe creating, PR, there's either no PR or too much PR, so maybe figuring out something else for senators to do while they're in there. If there's no PR to do, I don't know what that could be, but some sort of productive way for them to do something that's SGA related. Anything else? Good, thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. I want to begin by thanking everyone for attending this event and being so willing to be here to support the candidates. I also want to thank everyone involved in getting this event to happen today. Thank you all. For weeks, I've pondered on what to prepare for today. As someone who typically does not take the initiative to go up in front of a group of people and speak, the task was somewhat difficult. But here I am today in front of you to do just that. Before I forget, let me introduce myself to some of you who may not know me. I am Adriana Padilla Salgado, and I'm currently in the running for the position of Secretary in Fitchburg State Student Government Association. In order to explain to you the reasoning behind my candidacy, I need to give you some background. Although you see me as one of the most active commuter students here on campus, it wasn't always this way. In high school, I was not involved in pretty much anything. I would go to school and go home, go to school and go home, go to school and go home. It's sad to say, but I felt like I had no purpose in life. When I finally graduated and came to Fitchburg State University, I was expecting to do the same. I was scared and lonely. To my surprise, I was immediately welcomed with open arms by the best people I have ever met, who taught me to be confident and be the leader I have always wanted to be. Now, I am involved all throughout campus, and you may have seen me around. I am a content creator for Fitchburg State, president of the K-pop club, an orientation leader, a campus mailroom employee, a dance club teacher, and quite obviously, a student government senator. I have also been involved in a few committees, the most significant being my involvement in the Presidential Search Committee, tasked with the important job of hiring the next president of this university, which we now know has been done, and very well of a job as well. Love you, President Hodge. I was then also tasked with being a student representative on the committee to plan the presidential address alongside Senator Swain, which was a success. One last thing I want to mention was the amazing chance I was given to attend the Global Minded Conference with President Hodge in New York City as a first-generation college student, alongside Alexia Perez Lucas, another excellent student leader. This opportunity not only made me more confident in myself as a leader, but also provided me with astounding connections that I would have never made otherwise. The secretary position initially piqued my interest as someone who was never a part of a student government, nevertheless an executive board position in high school. I never even fathomed that I would ever be in the position to even consider being a part of such an impactful student organization. Yet here I am, just as everyone who has ever believed in me said I would. As someone who is very passionate about student leadership, I always take any opportunity to show how much I care. You may have seen me with the tiny Amazon microphone walking around campus, always looking for an interview. You may have seen me dressed in formal attire, ready for the next committee or student government meeting. You may have seen me breaking out into laughter at one of our previously held spicy bingos. Or you may have not seen me at all, but that's okay. My potential job as the student government secretary would not just be to take minutes of our meetings, but to be a significant presence on our campus. I believe as your student government, we should all be making the effort to engage with our fellow student body, while also voicing the opinions of those who would not be heard otherwise. I want to be there for everyone, so that no one is left behind in our journey together, because this is a group effort. We cannot move forward without a team of inspiring, hardworking student leaders who are fighting for change. As your secretary, I will ensure that everything is organized and clear, so that we can move forward together without falling behind. Thank you, everyone, and I am looking forward to being a part of this incredible Student Government Association for my last year. Thank you. Is there time for questions, Ken?
50 seconds.
50, okay. Michael Burns.
Yeah, you bring a lot of experience from other clubs and offices on campus. What have you learned this past year from student government that you'd like to bring from your senator role to a potential secretary role?
Yeah, so surprisingly, you might see me as like outgoing because I do like all this stuff, but I think student government definitely took me out of my shell. I wasn't typically the type of person to take leadership positions, but in student government, I kind of, like, you guys kind of motivated me to do more, and I have been doing more. And I also just want to take all this into an e-work position as well. And I'm sure that like I'll improve on leadership, and you've taught me a lot. You guys have taught me a lot. Anyone else? Yeah, Mark.
How will you use your role as secretary to promote diversity, equality, and inclusion of student government communications and operations?
Yeah, so if you didn't know, I'm Hispanic, I'm Puerto Rican, and naturally, as someone who's of that descent, I naturally bring it to meetings and everything. I'll make sure that we are equally represented in our meetings, especially hearing out concerns from the cultural organizations that we have here on campus. For example, LASSO, Black Student Union, African Student Association. Just even if I have to set up meetings with them just to hear anything they think we can improve on or change, or any concerns that they have, that's something that I would do to really represent the diversity we have here on campus. All right, thank you so much, everyone.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alexis Salmon, and I'm excited to be running for Student Government Secretary. I'm a sophomore with a pre-law major and a minor in political science. My academics have fueled my passion for organization, accuracy, and advocacy. I truly believe that clear and reliable communication is the foundation of a strong student government, and that's exactly what I will prioritize in this role. Right now, I serve as the Secretary for AUC Student Affairs, where I've gained valuable experience in keeping detailed records, communicating clearly with students and administration, and learning what it takes to be an effective secretary. Through this role, I've developed strong note-taking skills and sharp attention to detail, both of which will directly benefit my work in SGA. I'm confident that I can effectively manage meeting minutes, track attendance, and streamline communication between the Senate and the student body. If elected, I'm committed to being a reliable advocate for students, ensuring that your concerns and ideas are properly documented and effectively communicated. I'll prioritize accuracy and transparency by keeping meeting minutes clear, thorough, and promptly available, so students remain informed about decisions impacting them. I'll also focus on efficiency and organization and maintaining detailed record tracking attendance and ensuring all documentation is properly archived and easily accessible. As secretary, my goal is to make sure every student's voice is heard and valued. I want to create more opportunities for students to share their thoughts by introducing regular tabling sessions and placing a feedback box outside the SGA office. This will give everyone an easy and accessible way to drop in questions, concerns, or suggestions. I also want to make SGA a welcoming and inclusive space, especially for new members, by encouraging open communication and making sure it is easy for everyone to get involved. It is important to me that students' concerns are taken seriously, so I'll ensure they're properly communicated to both SGA and the administration and follow up with students. I'll also be working to make sure that all the students know what's going on, and I will collaborate with campus organizations to gather diverse perspectives and make sure SGA truly represents the entire student body. Ultimately, my goal is to help SGA be more transparent, approachable, and effective in making positive change for all students. I'm confident that my strong organization skills, attention to detail, and dedication to advocacy make me an excellent fit for this role. I'd be honored to serve as your SGA secretary and contribute to building a more connected, transparent, and responsive student government. Thank you for your time and support. Any questions?
How do you think your coursework will help you in a leadership role in student government association?
So right now I am a pre-law major, so I'm taking a lot of law-related classes, which are based on advocating for different cases and different people and different sides. So I feel like because of those classes, it's helped me improve with my advocacy and showing support for others. Josh.
What do you think the biggest takeaway you have from this year is as a new senator?
This year, I would definitely not be doing this right now if I was not in SGA. I do not like public speaking like this, and I feel like SGA has definitely helped me break out of my shell and has definitely made me into the person I am today and is helping me with my future career, definitely with speaking out. Any other questions? Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. Firstly, I'd like to thank you all for coming to this event. I appreciate the initiative of getting involved in our student government. I also want to thank everyone who was on the election committee. I know there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put into this event, and it would not be the same without all of your hard work. My name is Elliot Olinchu Okuski, although most days I simply go by Elliot OO. I'm a current sophomore with a political science major, and I've had the pleasure of serving as your student government treasurer for this past year. And in that, I've gotten to know our student orgs and the depth of student life on campus. This past year, I focused on ensuring that student orgs are able to get the funding they need, combating the issues from the previous administration, and providing security and stability to their budgets. I've done this through reworking the budget process, redefining our treasurer role in our government, and working with our financial committee to ensure that your student activity fee isn't going to waste. As this year closes out and I look forward to the next academic year, I hope to assist clubs more than just ensuring their funding. I hope to encourage and support collaborative events in the future, bringing together communities across campus that otherwise wouldn't meet. I aim to bring more life to campus on the weekends. I want to expand the events that define our campus. I also understand that students want to know that their money isn't being wasted. As such, I plan to work with both student organizations and the staff around campus to ensure that we are able to cut wasteful spending and make sure that students know and are proud of what they are funding, and that clubs don't feel the need to buy items that we could provide or save money on. I also want to focus on the cost per student moving into the future, ensuring that we are spending money on things that we know are reaching students for a reasonable price, rather than the abstract notes of it being a lot of money. I believe that this will allow student government and organizations to more effectively program and will be better represent our students who attend these events. Fitchburg is a school that allows students to shape their experience. Nothing shows that better than how influential our clubs can be. From high-ticket events that pack the Falcon Hub to the smaller clubs that cultivate some of the strongest communities I've ever seen. If you see it fit, I look forward to working with them for another year. Thank you very much. I see there are already questions. I saw Josh first.
So for starters, you've done a terrific job this year dealing with all the immense pressures with budgeting issues. Just coming in as a fresh treasurer, pretty much with no guidance. With that being said, what do you think you can improve on going into next year?
One of the things that I really aim to improve on going forward is laying out a lot of both FinCom guidelines and budget guidelines. A lot of times when we're in FinCom, we are basing things off of standards. However, those standards are not clearly printed out in a lot of ways. So moving forward, I intend to work on printing out a lot of those guidelines to ensure that clubs can come in a lot more confident about what they're requesting money on and come in with a lot more confident information. I also plan moving forward to start going over purchase requests as part of what I am adding to the treasurer role. This will allow me to more confidently look at budgets and spending around campus to know that to track money and spending turns, to know that what Fitchburg should look forward to and begin to try funding for, and what we can cut back on to ensure that we have money when we need it. Of course.
You covered my question.
Any other questions? Is that just time?
No, I got a question.
Oh, shoot then.
So, like Josh said, you've done a lot of good work, but what could you possibly improve on if reelected next year?
That's a very good question. I think one of the things I really want to improve on is working with clubs that have a lot of money already. Currently, I only really work with clubs that are struggling with money, clubs that maybe didn't get a budget, new clubs, or clubs that are really looking to expand. If you see a fit to reelect me as treasurer, I want to work with a lot of clubs that maybe don't come to FinCom as much to encourage them to do more broader programming, to help collab with other clubs to assist with programming on the weekends, because I know it can be very scary to program on the weekends because a lot of people do not come. So I'd love to work with clubs to encourage them to plan on the weekend. I have ideas for special budgets that will be applicable on the weekend. Reaching out during budgeting season for collabs is something I'm working on right now. And there are a lot of ideas I have currently that I'm implementing. And then the main one I would be looking forward in the future would be looking over purchase orders to kind of track trends in what we're spending and what events we're funding, so I can give more accurate reads to the student population. Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to see so many people can make it up here on a Tuesday night. I know there's a lot of classes going on, busy schedules, so really appreciate that. I want to thank the committee who also put this all together. I know you guys put a lot of hard work into that. So thank you guys. My name is Lily Hallahan, and I'm running for the Student Government Association Treasurer. To share a bit about myself, I'm a freshman majoring in the communications media with a concentration in film and video. But outside of academics, I serve as the treasurer of the Card Games Club, obviously a senator in student government, and I'm also a tour guide. But I'm a member of the Improv Club, and over the summer, I'll be stepping into the new leadership role as a orientation leader, and next semester, I will be stepping up as a resident assistant. So through all these experiences, I've learned how important it is to have aptitude, strong leadership, and clear communication, which all of these skills are needed and important to be an effective treasurer. Since the start of last semester, I've been a member of the financial committee, where I've learned firsthand how budgeting decisions impact student organizations. I've grown through that experience to the point where I'm now working alongside the current treasurer, Elliot, as we prepare for the upcoming budgeting season. This has made me feel very much confident and ready to step into this role. And I want to ensure transparency, efficiency, and fairness in managing the student activity fee. Students should know exactly where their money is going, and funds should be distributed fairly. I will work closely to track the spending to ensure every dollar is used wisely and for its intended purpose. Additionally, I will make sure that clubs and organizations receive funding based on their needs and contributions to campus life. I want to look deeper into tracking spending around campus to ensure that the money is being allocated to different clubs and organizations, has its use of its intended purpose. But I can't do this alone. I need your support, and your vote gives me a chance to bring these ideas to life and to make sure that student funds are handled responsibly and efficiently. At the end of the day, my goal is simple, and it's to ensure that your money is managed wisely, fairly, and in a way that enhances student life for everyone. I'd be honored to serve as your next SGA treasurer, and I hope to earn your vote. Thank you. I'd love to answer any questions that you may have.
What's been your favorite part about being a college student this past year?
Oh, I definitely would say how much I've changed as a person. Going into college, I was very much like a cynical person, I want to say. I was very negative. I didn't really have, I don't want to say like a bad look at life, but I was just kind of like a negative person overall. And I want to say like over this past school year, meeting all the people I have, and honestly, most of the upperclassmen I've talked to have encouraged me to become a leader and do better in what I do. And I want to say that's helped me so much. So I guess the people on campus has really changed me and made this such a great experience. Christian.
So as an SGA member, you're going into RA and orientation leader. I know it's quite the daunting experience, but what are you wanting to gain from those roles on campus?
Yeah. So I want to say, I guess with orientation leader, I saw how like a lot of my orientation leaders helped me in different ways, and I could see them around in the hallway, say hi to them. I mean, you two are both sitting right next to each other. And I guess that brought like, it made me like very happy to see people around that I like was a friendly face. And if I could pay that forward to be that for someone. And with the resident assistant, I guess building community, that's a big part of Fitchburg State, is that we are a community, and if I can help enhance that in any way possible, that would just make me feel amazing. Yes.
With all the extra things that you're planning on doing next year, do you think you would have the time to be able to do it?
Yeah, I do think I have the time to do it. I've been working on my class schedule for next semester, and I actually have like free time this coming semester, so I'd have a lot more time to work on these added responsibilities. All done? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you again all so much for coming. At this point, we're gonna head over to the game room. You don't have to, but you're definitely welcome to. It'll be open for us. And again, the QR code is on the board, so feel welcome.